Well, looky there. Hey, Marine Army Mom. How are you today, darling? Just out doing little chores today. It's warmed up. The snow is melting. Oh, Phoenix Princess, thanks for stopping in and saying hey. Appreciate you doing that. Oh, pretty good. Huffing and puffing. I wish it was a little different, but it ain't. It is what it is, they say. But that's more ice. And the piles that Miss Mobo cleared, around the truck and stuff. It's melting though. It's a beautiful day today. Makes you feel like spring's around the corner. So anyway, I was bringing some compost down to the compost pile. And I was going to get the tripod out, but so I could sit up and you could look up into the woods instead of me jostling you around. Well, looks like we're getting some scroll action here. It was up to 16, that's back down to 10. I'm sure scrolling got 4 thumbs up. Hey, there's BJ. What's going on, BJ's Misadventures? Thanks for stopping in. I'm just out here doing some little chores today. Haven't been able to do much. It's been so cold, and the cold air really aggravates this condition I got. And but today's a beautiful day, so I'm able to get out and do a little something. Really looking forward to the permanent warm air, but it's supposed to be like this for next week or so. I guess we might get a little rain, but just our timber. We got We got about 4 acres of timber, I would estimate, and about 4 acres of open land, you know, for the garden and so there's the creek. There's water running in it. It'll be melting here pretty quick. Keeps warm like this the next few days. There won't be any ice or snow left. BJ's Misadventure says, "Hi, chat." And BJ says, "No problem." Well, I'm glad you stopped in, BJ. Appreciate it, brother. But I'm just taking a little rest. I'm terrible short of breath, but got a doctor's appointment and CT scan coming up. I'm hoping it goes a little smoother than the last doctor's visit, but I guess we'll see. I made a request for him to do to get those reports to my respiratory doctor. They didn't do it last time, so I got my fingers crossed it's a little different this time. Marine Army Mom says, "I'm ready for springtime." Yes, ma'am. It's right around the corner. It surely is. This gets Miss Mobo all excited because she's ready to get stuff get stuff planted and that kind of stuff. BJ says, "Whereabouts are you?" Well, we're in western Missouri. BJ, we're about 40 or 50 miles out of Kansas City to the southeast. We live out here in the country, outside a little town up here, and so we got us some elbow room out here. But it's a lovely day. For sure. Wish I was able to do more, but BJ says, "Okay, I'm near Vancouver, Canada." Wow. Well, it's still a little snowy up there, I bet. Want to thank you for sending that polar vortex down this way. I'll tell you what, buddy, it broke records down here in the Midwest. We had minus double digits. It was mighty chilly, to say the least. Give us a little bit of snow and that kind of carries on. Oh, BJ says not here. Oh, well, that's good. Vancouver's pretty green up there, isn't it? Kind of like got that kind of rainforest thing, like Washington State and that area up there to the northwest. I've got kin that lives in Washington State, and they very rarely get snow. They're up near Seattle, and they get it every now and then, but of course not like here in the Midwest. But you get on up there near the border, the Canadian border, and one of my aunt's favorite places was Birch Bay, and it's kind of like a rainforest up there. BJ's Misadventure says we get snow here, but it doesn't stick around as it's too warm here. Yeah, that's kind of how it is up there in Seattle, and my kin live in Port Orchard, which is across from Seattle on Puget Sound up there. BJ says, I have been to Birch Bay. It's nice here. Yeah, it's beautiful. My aunt passed away. We were out there in 2017. And after Miss Mobo retired. And it was one of her favorite places to go was Birch Bay. And we went up the Chuckamuck Highway or Chuckaluck Highway. It's just a beautiful drive up to Birch Bay, and we stayed camped there for a couple of days in honor of my aunt. She's just the sweetest, most beautiful soul. I had only got to meet her a couple of times. And one of them was just before she passed away. I went up in 2016 and by myself. And when I left, I told her we would be up in 2017 when Miss Mobo retired. And she kind of looked at me. She has kind of the same affliction I do, COPD. And she said, she looked at me and she said, now, I want you to make sure to come up here regardless of what happens. And I think she knew that her time on earth was getting near to the end. And sure enough, in late 2016, she passed away. And but we went in 2017, and we did the whole West Coast. Miss Mobo's cousin lives in San Diego, so we went to San Diego, and then we turned north and went up the Pacific coast all the way to Port Orchard and visited with the relatives, and then on up to the border there at Freedom Park. That was pretty cool. There you could go across the Canadian border and not have to show them a passport or anything like that. That's pretty cool anyway. So BJ's Misadventure says, you a member of a group of resorts across the country? No, BJ, we got a little spot here in Middle America, and we as young people we did lots of camping and whitewater rafting and mountain climbing and hunting, mule deer hunting, and so we and of course we did lots of. I think we floated about every river here in Missouri. So we're just old homebodies now, and of course I'm so short of breath that I can't really do it like I'd like to. So we're just old homebodies. We got our little spot here, and so we're just kind of old homebodies now. We love our little spot. It's a nice spot. Got lots of elbow room. You can probably hear the traffic. We've got a county road that runs along the front of the place, and there goes the Amtrak going through. We got a main rail line that runs through town up here, and so we're pretty much old homebodies now. Miss Mobo kind of wrestles her knees, and and we're old people. I'd turn the camera around, but I might scare you. My eyebrows are kind of out of control, and so I won't put y'all through that. I'll just this is a much nicer view here. The woods, we love the woods, and we have deer and lots of little wildlife roaming around, coyotes and squirrels and rabbits and so. But I'll tell you, I used to. One of my favorite things to do in winter was when it snowed was come down and see where the deer had been roaming through. But the cold air just deals me such a fit with this, and it's kind of it's a progressive disease. There's no going back. All you can do is really try to maintain what you got. Some of the medication's kind of hard. I've got discussion about some natural remedies that folks use. I want to talk to my doctor. I won't get befogged this time if that report's not there. I don't know. It's the CT scan's kind of close to my appointment. I don't know if you can see. I've just seen this. If that you can see that little evergreen tree right there, looks like a buck's been rubbing on it. In the bark, might kind of see a little bright spot. I don't know if I can make it. There we go. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see it? I'm kind of shaky. Can you see the bark rubbed off of that? Rubbed off of that tree right there. Yeah, right there. That looks like a buck rub. Yeah. So BJ's Misadventure says, "Oh, I thought maybe you stayed at the camping resort at Birch Bay." Well, we stayed at the campground, and our camp spot was right on the beach, and to hear the waves breaking and the sunset, it was just the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I can understand now why my aunt loved it so much. It was just a beautiful place. Beach Day says I might spar you, LOL. I'm not sure. I think you might have fat fingered that one there, BJ. Savar you. I might savar you. Yeah, I think you fat fingered that one there, BJ. But on the other side of Beechwood Resort. Okay, yeah, there was a resort there, but yeah, we were down right on the ocean. Yeah, it was a beautiful place. I sure would like to go back out there, but I don't think I'll be leaving Missouri again. I don't think so. I think we're here for the duration. Because this COPD's really got a hold on me, and so I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get back out on another trip. We'll probably just hang out here for the rest of the time, I believe. But this is a side yard. There's little patches of timber. I've seen pictures of the old home place. Grandma and Grandpa bought this. This was the first. Grandpa retired and this was the first place they ever owned. Grandpa was a sharecropper, and so they would every 3 years. That was the length of the contract for sharecropping, was 3 years, and so when Grandpa retired, they bought this place in '54, and this was all. There wasn't a tree, and this whole yard here was all clear. And my aunt would tell me stories about Grandpa plowing this up, and all the kids would come down and they'd plant corn. They plant this yard here in corn. But it doesn't take Mother Nature long to reclaim what was hers. BJ's Misadventure says, my outlaws were, my in-laws were members there. We stayed many times before they got strict at the border. Yeah, BJ, they just drag all your stuff, and I'm kind of always had long hair and everything, and I'm an old hippie, and they drag your stuff out and throw on the ground, and they're mighty thorough in their searches of your stuff. And I had a buddy. Him and his family used to go up there and fish, just north of Minnesota. I believe it was, I don't know, I think it might have been British Columbia. I'm not real sure. Might have been British Columbia. Well, he got in some trouble, and he didn't give it much thought, I guess. And so that when they got up there, they searched did a background check. Of course, they do background. Oh, Ontario. Yeah, that's what it is. Ontario. And they wouldn't let him in. They wouldn't let him into Canada. He had to turn around and go home. The rest of the family went on in and fished, but they wouldn't let him in. Made him turn around and go home. So I never did much in Canada. Because like I say, that all my stuff would have been on the ground. They'd have drug all my stuff out of the vehicle, and had a good look at all my stuff. So we've never been into Canada, besides at Peace Park. They're north of Birch Bay. We went up to the Peace Park. And that guy we parked, and that ranger that was there, he said, "Now you see that ditch over there?" He said, "Don't go over there, because you won't be able to come back, because that was the border, the Canadian border." Yes, Peace Park, Peace Arch Park. Yeah, very cool. Really cool place. But yeah, he told us, he said, "Don't, you stay over here." He said, "Don't go over there, or you'll be in trouble," because we didn't have passport or none of that. So yeah, he said, "Don't go over there," and we didn't. We went on over to the park. Very cool. I'm sorry, I'm so shaky. I should have brought the tripod, so I could have set y'all down on the tripod. That's a little better. I'm kind of shaky. This medicine that I'm on's kind of got some issues with it, and tremors is kind of one of them. Kind of makes you jittery, but Yeah, so this is the north yard. You can see my mowing lanes. Everybody says, why don't you switch up? And I said, heck, there's so many trees you'd have to go around to do a diagonal cut across it. I said, whoever has it next, if they want to do it, they can. But all I care about is getting it mowed. Looking forward to mowing season. I can mow. As long as I'm not real good on walking. BJ says, when Rona was around, my other half sister lived in Seattle. They used to get together at the international line in the park for visits. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, that was kind of a neat place. We were there for quite a while. We sat on the benches, and they had lots of flowers. A lot of. They had the American flag in flowers, and then they had the Canadian flag, and it looked better. They were replanting the American side, but the Canadian side looked really cool. The maple leaf was all in red flowers, and they did a really good job. It looked really cool. But yeah, that was fun. I'll always remember that. For the rest of my time here on Earth, I always look back on that trip with lots of fond memories. A lot of good time going out there on that trip. We went up all the way up, like say the Highway 1, or Highway 1, plumb up into to southern Washington. BJ says the border guards on both sides are watching everyone like hawks. Yeah. Another funny story. I never ever heard anything so crazy, but that guy, that border dude, the park guy at the parking lot, the policeman said, and when you're in the park, don't interact with the Canadians. And I said, what? He said, yes, just enjoy the park, but don't interact with the Canadians. I said, well, okay, sir. I won't interact with the Canadians. I never heard such a silly thing in all my life. All right, well, I've kind of caught my breath, so we'll walk back up here and get another bag of compost and bring it down. I don't know, I might probably have to sit down up here again. Miss Mobo, she's taking garden compost up to the garden. We compost all of our garden, all of our kitchen vegetable peelings and anything organic, and we bury it up in the garden plots. Very good soil enhancer. So she's doing that, and I'm doing this little bit of walking. Like I said, I haven't been out hardly all winter because the cold air just seizes me up. I can't hardly stand the cold air. It really works me over. BJ says, what? BJ says, who else is watching? Well, I think Marine and Army Mom might be in here hanging out too. And there's probably some scrollers. You know, you see it. You'll see that watching go up and down. And so that's probably scrollers. They're like, what is going on? So, then see, now it goes back down to 1. Marine, it's probably about dinner time. She might be cooking dinner. But, and it's kind of early in the afternoon. I don't really have a set time. You know, a lot of the streams, I'm sorry, is so jerky and shaky. Maybe I'll get Mrs. Mobo to bring a tripod out when she comes back out, and I'll put this on the tripod. But yeah, I don't have a lot of. Oh, it's 3:15 in Vancouver. Oh, we got a motorcycle rider coming by. Yeah, we got a lot of Harley biker people that lives around the area, and when it gets like this, they jump at the chance to get on their bikes. It's a beautiful day for a ride. Really, really nice. So yeah, you know how YouTube is. Oh, here, see there, it bounced back up. Let's see. Yeah, I would imagine it probably is. We're probably an hour. You're an hour ahead of us. I hate to try to flip this down to see what time it is. I always jack the stream up when I get to messing around with the screen. I'm a rookie at all this. I need to do some editing. You know, my lives say Mobo Live. I don't have any, it's all the same thumbnail. You need some help? It's a little muddy up on the Klondike. You want me to come up there? No, you okay? Oh, Miss Mobo's down. Miss Mobo's down. I'm not filming you. Or maybe not. Oh, let's whip it around. Miss Mobo's down. I got her laughing and giggling. She's having a little trouble. Roll to your side, honey. There you go. Oh. Oh, what's that on your butt? Uh-oh. Family friendly. Bless your heart. You should have went up there a little higher where it's not so steep, silly. Bless her heart. Oh. BJ says, I'm doing editing every day. I was just editing now and needed a break. Oh, there's Mork. Hey, Mork, what's going on, brother? Thanks for stopping in. BJ says, hey, Mark. BJ says, Nanu, Nanu. Oh, you okay? No, I didn't. Not of you taking the tumble, but trying to get up. That was, I had to do it. I couldn't help myself. It's pretty slick. Bless your heart. Yeah, you should go further up the dike, honey, where it's not so steep. I seen you. I was like, uh-oh. I don't think this is going to end well. Oh, my goodness. Oh. there's, there's my sweet wife. I'm so lucky. You got a little something on your pants there.
I think I'm sit on your lap. I want a hug.
Oh, you all right? Didn't hurt you, did it?
No.
It was kind of a slow roll. Stay on this bracket over there. Don't sit in the middle.
I'm at the end.
Oh, you got your shirt muddy.
I got it all over.
Oh, Miss Mobo's all muddy. Oh, poor baby. Oh, there's Marine Army. Mom says hi, Miss Mobo.
Hi.
Oh, you miss Marine Army Mom. You missed Miss Mobo going down on the slick. It's kind of muddy here. We've got a lot of melting going on, and I was going to say something. Maybe she ought to walk up a little bit further.
Yeah, I thought I'd walked up enough, but no.
But she slid in the mud and down she went. I did get her kind of wallering around trying to get up, but she got up. She told me to stay down here. I was going to go up and help her, but she got her little hands all muddy. Oh, easy there, Posetta.
Yeah, I think it's time to go.
Oh, your phone. Get your phone out. No, don't touch it with that hand.
It's dry on here.
I'm gonna come up here and get the tripod because I'm so shaky.
Yeah, I'm gonna take these things
Yeah, go on up there and wait a minute. Oh, bless her heart. Oh, so BJ's Misadventure says, anyways, I'm going to get back to editing. It was nice chatting with you, Mobo. You take care. BJ, again, I appreciate you stopping in and hanging out for a little bit and trading little stories about the Peace Arch, and brought back a lot of good memories. I sure appreciate you. And you have a good rest of your evening. And we'll see you downstream. 10-4. So yeah, Miss Mobo was taking compost up to the garden, and her first trip was pretty uneventful, but her second trip down here, she took a little kind of a slow slide and roll to the ground, and it's pretty muddy. Oh, there's my Terry. Terry's tips and talk says Mobo, and she sends hearts. Oh, bless your heart, Terry. Oh yeah, she's okay. It wasn't she didn't fall. She just slid in the down the pond dike a little bit, and she just got a little bit of mud on her rear end, and but she's able to kind of do the side roll and get up. It's really slick. We've had a lot of melting going on. You can see the creek still got ice in it, but the water's running underneath it, so it won't be here much longer. About the only snow really left is the piles up in the driveway. And Terry says, "Is she okay?" And then Terry says, "Oh, good, thank goodness." Yeah, it wasn't a crash and burn. It was just kind of she just kind of slid down the pond dike on her rear, and she brought quite a bit of it back to the house with her. She had quite a bit of mud on her rear end. Oh, bless her heart. Oh, yeah, that the pond dike's kind of steep right there in that one spot. I was hoping maybe she'd walk up a little higher that way, a little higher up that way, so you can see the pond dike. And she see her mark. She left a mark, but she's fine. No, she's fine. It was just kind of a slow slide down the pond dike because of the mud. It's pretty slick, but it's just such a nice day. I been out doing just a few little chores because this is really the first warm day, and this cold. The cold air just seizes my bronchial tubes up. I just can't hardly stand to get out in this cold air. But we're going to have a nice stretch of warm air. Might get a little rain tomorrow, maybe. We've got another little piece of the front going to be moving by, but it might bring us a little rain. Terry says it's 70 today here. Yeah, thank you for that nice. This is a present from you. Thank you for the nice present. And it's supposed to be even nicer tomorrow. So, yeah, thanks for sending that warm air this way. But Terry says foot of snow gone now. Yeah, same here, Terry. We didn't have a foot. We had about 6 inches. I'm sorry I'm so shaky. I think I'm gonna go up here and get the tripod, and I'll show you. The creek is still, top is frozen, but the water is coming down the creek. You can see some of it's melted, and it's right there, kind of. It's definitely flowing. But they said that the frost line, even though it was really cold here, the frost line is not as deep as usual, and so most of the snow, the moisture from the snow, Miss Mobo, she stomped this all down trying to get the mud off her boots.
Got it off.
Bless your heart. Give me the tripod and the phone holder. Bless your heart. There's little Cece. Say hi, little Cece. Yeah. And then the phone holder's over there by the pistol. No. Yeah, that's it. Oh, what, nosy? That's a nosy kitty. Oh, nosy kitty. Look up here. Now she wants to come outside. No, you stay in. You stay inside. Oh. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, that's little Sissy. And big Sissy was probably over there sacked out. She, little Sissy though, she likes to come to the door. Sometimes you're not sure if she's gonna make a run for it or what. I've had to chase her down a couple times. Oh, sorry about that, jiggling you around. Let me get this tripod put up. Show you our junk pile, our junk stuff. I'm hoping maybe I can get this taken care of this spring. But let's hope maybe the horse will be out, but I don't see it. So yeah, I thought I'd try to put this phone holder on the tripod because I'm so shaky because of this medicine. It really causes me to be jittery, and it's kind of hard to let me. Okay. Oh, this ain't the right one. Oh, hold on, let me set you down here for a minute. There we go. And let's see if I can tighten this up a little bit better. There we go. Okay, hang on here a minute. There we go. That ought to help it a little bit. Okay. Oh, that's on Miss Mobo's Hummer. It's wore out. It needs a motor and transmission. It's got almost 200,000 miles on it. She drove it back and forth to the city, and it's just one of them old inline straight, inline 5 cylinders, and they just bummer for the Hummer. Yeah, because it's a sweet ride. I mean, it's a great platform, but now we're retired. I've had a couple folks wanting to buy it. We should probably sell it because I'm never going to be able to put an engine in it or anything. So, but we keep all it's like our storage unit. we got a lot of our summer clothes and then the laundry when we fill up a bag full of laundry. We put the laundry in there, and so it's kind of our storage unit. So, but it sure was fun to drive. We really enjoyed it. We took several trips in it, but it just that inline 5 cylinder, it just wouldn't hold up to the traffic. And plus is aluminum block with a cast iron exhaust manifold. So what really started its downfall was it started breaking exhaust manifold bolts. And so we was able to get it inspected. I don't know, several years, but well, I'll tell you, it got to where well, I had to take the inner fender out, so the exhaust fumes would get out from under the hood. It's so tight under there with all the body panels and stuff. That I told Miss Mobo, I said, you roll the window down. Don't be driving around with them windows up because I didn't want her to get carbon monoxide poisoning and have a wreck or anything. But she sure loved it. And she drove it right up till it wouldn't go no more. She called me. She's at the Dollar General store one night. She called me and she's crying. The Hummer won't back up. I said, well, honey, I told you it was probably going to do that because the transmission was getting pretty weak too. Because that city traffic is so hard on these vehicles. We would put 250,000 miles on a new truck in a loan cycle. So we were having to buy a new truck every 5 years because we always bought four-wheel drives because living out here in the country, you just had to have it. And we rescued a lot of people out on the highway in the wintertime. You get snow piled up in their radiator and then their car would overheat. And one night we rescued a whole family, a husband and wife and 3 children. So yeah, the Hummer, it is a bummer because she loves that. She loves that Hummer. I think that's why it's been so hard to get rid of. But like I say, we use it for storage too, for our stuff. Because there's not a whole lot of room in the house. We live in a grain bin and it's just 21 feet diameter. So, yeah, is it diameter? Well, it's 21 feet around, across, radius, I don't know. Anyway, it's not very big. It's big enough for a couple people, but not a whole lot of storage room in there, if you know what I mean. There's a loft upstairs, but neither one of us now can hardly climb the ladder upstairs. Because like I say, Miss Mobo's knees they're pretty rough. She has a little trouble getting around with it. And yeah, a grain bin. A Butler grain bin, corn crib. Well, yeah, I guess you could call it conversion. It's kind of off grid. There's a story behind it, but I don't know if you want to hear it. I'll tell you the story. We did a lot of hunting, and Diane's sister had been in a car accident, and a guardrail came through the bottom of the car and lopped off half of her foot. She had like a fist on her ankle. If you double your fist up, she was missing all her toes. It took half her foot right off. And so, but it never slowed her down. She had a prosthesis, and we'd always go out rabbit hunting and everything, carrying on. Well, we was about 5 miles away from the truck, and a snowstorm blew in on us, and I'm talking a snowstorm. And so we was maybe halfway back to the truck, and her foot was starting to get cold. She was like, I don't know, we're gonna have to do something. Well, about that time, we come in the bottom of this little field, and there was this little grain bin, little 15 footer. And so we got in there. There was 5 of us, and me and Diane's sister and her brother and our brother-in-law, So there was four of us. So we got in there, we opened her up and got in there, and there was a bunch of grain sacks in there, and so we went out and found some wood, got some wood in there, got a little fire going so we could get Dale's boot off and get her foot warmed up. And gosh, it snowed harder and harder and harder, and I think we was in there about 5 hours. Got her foot warmed up and her everything. We were all got nice and dry, had a nice fire and everything in there. And while we were sitting in there, I was like, well, you could just about live in one of these things. You could, finish the walls out and if you got one that's a little taller, you could put a loft up in it and so when we moved here to the home place here after Daddy was killed in the accident, Mama inherited it. Well, we inherited it, me and Mom and Sis, and so Mom, she come down here and mow it, keep it mowed and everything. And there was a little block house on the place here, and the local volunteer fire department wanted to use it as a clubhouse. Well, it was falling down. The one wall was leaning way out and everything, and so Mom told him no, because it wasn't insured or anything. Told him no. Well, now there wasn't any electricity to this, and it was a concrete block house. And it wasn't maybe a few days later, and suspiciously on the meeting night of the volunteer fire department, the house mysteriously catches fire, right? And there wasn't nothing in there to speak of. Wasn't anything in there worth anything. And so I guess Mom had talked with the fire chief, and she told him if it ever caught fire, just to let it burn. Well, it really upset them volunteer firefighters. They wanted to put it out, but fire chief wouldn't let them do it. Said, "Oh, no, the owners told me to let it burn because the roof was bad. It was, but it was where Grandma and Grandpa lived. It was that was the only kind of bad thing about it. Kind of a memory going up in flames. So anyway, all that was left standing was the block walls. So we knocked them down, so they wouldn't fall. They knocked them all into the house, into the foundation. So one day Mom says, "Well, son, if you don't take this place over, I'm gonna sell it because I can't come down here and keep the grass mowed. Mom's all about mowed grass. She and she loves to mow. She loved mowing, but she was getting up in years too, and so she signed it over to us. We got it put in me and Miss Mobo's name, and we took it over, and so we tried to find one to build a house, and so we decided on a self-supported Butler building, turnkey, garage and entry door on a concrete pad by the Butler company, and it was just $15,000. Well, goodness gracious, we bought a half a dozen new vehicles. We'd both been at our jobs for a couple of decades at the time, and couldn't find a bank to loan us $15,000 to put this building up, but they could sure put us in a nice 30-year plan and build us a house here. Yeah, yeah. I said, yeah, you and every other bank in Missouri. I said, no, no thanks. I said, my credit's golden. I said, this thing doesn't even cost as much if it's a new vehicle. So I told the banker up here, I said, I'm going to tell you what, though. I'm going to live down here with or without you. And if it's without you, I'll never have a bank account in your bank, no savings, no nothing. But I said, I am going to live down here. So we went to the Butler company that was going to build the building. He wanted to finance us, but it was, in the 80s, and the home market and the was crashing and all of that. It was a bad time for house loans and stuff. This was mid 80s. And so we went there, me and Miss Mobo went down there, and we talked to him about a grain bin, and I told him this story. Well, he thought, yeah, he could sell us the grain bins and give us the A-frame jacks that you got to have to build it. You build the roof and the top ring on the ground, and then you lift it up, and then you build the next ring, and then you lift it up again, and we've got 3 rings. This is a 3-ring building, 18 feet tall at the peak. It's got a half loft in it. So me and my brother-in-law, we did the footing and the foundation work, put all the wire, cut for all the drainage and electrical conduits and stuff, and all brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, and friends came down, and because there's lots of nuts and bolts to a grain bin, and we put them up, and so at the time we were doing this, we had moved out of the city, and we were living with Diane's sister and her husband, and the ones that live at the lake at the time, they lived over here north of us. And so that gave me enough time to get the electrical in. Of course, we were working full time, and so was only really able to work on it on the weekends. And so I got the electrical all hooked up and furnace in there. And well, we started out with the wood stove. We didn't have the furnace in yet. It had a wood stove. And looks like the horse is out tonight. He's standing over there looking at me. He hears me talking, I think. He's sitting over there by himself. Who is he talking to? And so anyway, January 1st, 1985, we bought a new truck, a new Chevrolet truck, and 4-wheel drive, little S10, and we moved in with our mama dog and 9 puppies, and I built wall sections, finished a section at a time. And so it's no Taj Mahal, but it's served us well. Here we are, 2025, and we was the talk of the town. They thought, what's he gonna do out there? Because I knew some guys up there in town. I'd worked at a hazardous waste facility down here outside of town for several years, so I knew a lot of them old boys up there in town, and so we were starting to run out of weather. The weather, it was starting to get kind of cold, and so the Butler guy, and his crew poured the cement pad. We did all, me and my brother-in-law did all the, like say, all the footing work and everything. And all the folks up in town, you see that guy out there? He's, they poured a cement pad out there. I'll bet he's going to put a, I'll bet they're going to put a mobile home out there. Well, then the grain bins came, and the grain bins started going up. Oh, I'll tell you what. Well, they didn't know what the heck is that? What's going on out there? Well, they didn't know what is I going to start farming or what, you know. So we got the grain bins all put up and everything, and of course we had quite a bit of stuff. It was pretty jet packed in there. I always say it's like a can of tuna. It was jet packed, and so they was like, "Oh, what is going on out there? What? Maybe they're gonna build a house and they're just keeping their stuff in there." Well, then the TV antenna went up on top of it, and then it was like that crazy guy, that crazy long-haired guy is living in them grain bins out there. So, so the story got going around, and they started calling me the Chinaman in the corn cribs north of town. So I had them all messed up there, and but like I say, it's just me and Miss Mobo. If we'd had children, it would have been a different story. We would have probably done different, but it's just me and Miss Mobo, and there's no windows in it. It's just the door, because we've gone so much hunting and floating and camping and mountain climbing and deer hunting and that way they didn't have no windows to break in. So anyway, that's the story. And it served us well for a really long time, and I've never had to paint it. No exterior maintenance at all. So yeah, that's the grain bin story. We still get looky-loos to this day. People that stop in and wonder what and they want to look in. The delivery drivers will drop stuff off, and they back in the driveway, and I hear them, so I go out there. I said, "Bet you're looking for a house, ain't you?" Yeah, I said, "There it is, right there." "Well, that's a grain bin." I said, "That's the house." "Really? Well, can I look inside?" I said, "Well, sure." So yeah, we get lots of looky-loos. It really later on, there was an outfit up in Iowa, and I don't have any insulation in the roof. It's just bare steel. That's why when it's cold, it's a little drafty in there when it's cold. But this outfit up in Iowa started producing a grain bin that they were sending over to Ethiopia, over to Africa. They were sending these grain bins over, and they were actually insulating the roof panels. They had solar panel fittings for the roof to put solar panels on top, and they bolted like window wells, great big window wells, to the sides of them for ballast, so the wind wouldn't blow them over. And they just built them right on the ground, and then they would fill those window wells up with dirt, and the people could plant gardens and stuff in them. Terry says, "Hey Mobo, my son is here. I'm going to go visit. Not very often he comes over." "Oh, Terry, you go be with your son, hon. I'm so glad to hear that. And thanks for coming by and hanging out with me, listening to them goofy stories." I appreciate you, darling. Have a good evening, and tell Walleye Guy I said hey, and give Lucy and Frankie a pet. Pet them dogs. Love you, darling. I'll see you downstream. 10-4. I'll sure do it, Terry. I'll give her a big old hug for you, darling. And we'll see you next time.